Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her mother 40 more. Or 41. I don't know. So I watched these two videos on Hulu. One was called Candy, and one was called Things About Pam. I can't tell y'all which one of them was the worst. They both are crazy. And can I call them serial killers? I don't think Candy was a serial killer, but she could have been. Well, damn near. We don't even know what Candy doing at this point. So Candy. So there's this series on Hulu about Candy. Once I started getting into these two shows, I was addicted. Like I been watched both shows until it was over. So Candy, she was the perfect housewife, right? And it wasn't enough for her. She didn't seem like she was like had a dysfunctional past or dysfunctional history. I mean, at the end, that was her defense, which really wasn't about shit. But anyway, she seemed like she had the best kids, the best husband. She was just like a at home mom. Her friend had a best friend. She took to her as if that was her own. But that wasn't enough for Candy. Candy wanted more. She would read these romance novels and she would get engulfed in them. Her pastor, she had, it was a small church and she had, the pastor and wife that pastored the church. Well, they started having issues and he disappeared. And then the wife basically, I mean, she couldn't really support. And this is in 1980, so they wasn't doing the husband and wife pastor stuff, or even female pastors. I mean, if female pastors was present, it was because the husband was present too. So I was amazed with the clothes and the cars that they had available for this video. Like, this is crazy. Now, a lot of the stuff I noticed were later 80s. They wasn't even early 80s. And but if you was in that era, you would never know. But good job on the aesthetics though. Good job. So, honey, Candy, after reading all these damn romantic novels, and then her the pastor wife couple that pastored her church broke up and got divorced. The wife part, she found a friend and she had a little spice, right? All the girls wanted to know. I mean, everything that had to do with sex, Candy wanted to know every detail. So Candy decided that she wants to have a little spice of her own. So she was on this volleyball team. And the guy she was with, that she ended up with, he was on the volleyball team too. Now seemed to be more committed to his marriage than Candy. So Candy put on her lipstick. She curled her hair. Well, her hair was already curly. She put on her lashes. She put on her mascara. See, we didn't have lashes in 1980. And honey, she was trying, and she put on her hoochie mama shorts. Now, the guys, he was not trying to get nobody. He just was basically all his frustration and energy for the day. But he was married too, and he was wearing hoochie man shorts, hoochie daddy shorts. So Candy, well, he was on his way home to his wife and his kids, and Candy jumped in this man's car, and she said, "I want to have an affair." And I'm thinking, did that work back then? Cause I don't know. So anyway, and she kissed him. He didn't kiss her back, and she got out the car. Well, I think at the time his wife was pregnant, which don't excuse what happened, but I think it had a lot to do. So he decided to take her up on the offer and have an affair. But Candy had rules. And one of the rules is they got feelings, they would cut it off completely, right? So Candy started having feelings for old boy. He went along with it. And she started having feelings. So she said, "I got feelings for you. We gotta cut this off. A rule is a rule." And he's like, "You know how me ain't gonna be." He was like, "Oh no, I can't. I need you." So they continue on this escapade. Well, they both were married, had kids, and I guess they would just cheat in between, right? So one of their other friends had brought this marriage counselor in the relationship. It was called Marriage Encounter. And so his wife, her name was Betty. His name was Alan. One of the sisters said, "Hey, do you need to try this? It would really help your marriage." So she asked her husband, and he said, "Okay." At first, he kind of lied about his things, but he fell back in love with his wife. The marriage encounter worked. So he had stood Candy up 2 times on their little secret rendezvous. They would go to the hotel and get it on. And so he he stood her up 2 times. Then she heard about the marriage encounter and she told one of her friends she knows. She really, the wife, Betty, Alan's wife, no, she really didn't know everything, but but she had a little adult relationship of her own. Come to find out in the marriage counselor, the encounter. So I don't know, it brought them together, and he broke it off with Candy. So Candy's still in her feelings, and she's still trying to. Their friend, their children became best friends. So she went. She was supposed to go to the house to get the child's bikini, right? While she went there, and I don't know what happened. She said that the woman said, "Are you sleeping with my husband?" And went and got an axe. But the woman wasn't in the physical shape to even fight this woman, Candy. That's her story. But she got the bikini and she left. But before she left, she gave that woman 40 fucking whacks. 41 whacks with an axe. And she carved out her eyes. which was suspicious to the authorities that found Miss Miss Betty. So Alan, which is Miss Betty's husband, he went out of town to work, and he kept calling and calling and calling. So finally, he got some men that bossed the fuck up and went and checked to see where Miss Betty was at. So the baby was alive. The baby was left in the crib. They had a little 15-month-old baby. Or was it? I don't know. It was young baby. The baby couldn't crawl or walk. The baby was left in the crib with blood on him. Child screamed. No, for 13 hours, that child screamed until that child lost his voice. And the mama was found, Betty. She was found in the utility room with 40 wax from an axe, or 41 wax from an axe. Like, oh, it was so gruesome and bloody. So the guys that went and found them said, "Look, it's not good. We think she was shot." And they don't even know. All they see is all this blood spattered everywhere. But do y'all know this bitch had the nerves to kill this woman, give her 41 wax, go in her upstairs bathroom, and take a shower, leave the blood, because she had a head injury in the midst of all this. Leave the blood, leave the weapon, didn't do shit. And I thought she was gonna be convicted, y'all. She wasn't convicted. So you mean to tell me this little hussy got in her got a little itch in her pants that she wanted this woman's man, gave her 40 wax or 41 wax with an axe, and then guess what? She got away with it. She won the jury over with her charm, and she got away with it. She thought her life was gonna be regular though, but nah, she should have moved away. She ended up having to change her name and move to a different location. Now this was in 1980. So that's Candy. Y'all go check it out on Hulu. I'm not gonna give you every detail, but it is worth watching. I stayed on my seat the whole goddamn time. So let's talk about Pam. That bitch crazy too. I don't know which one was crazier, Pam or Candy. They both some killers. Pam was more obvious with her shit. She just was fucking weird for no reason. And she was doing too much. She was doing extra. So she would take her friend. Her friend had cancer. And she would take her friend to chemo, you know, maybe do some activities and stuff like that. Just to get her out the house or whatever. Her friend was kind of overweight. I mean, she had fallen out with her man, and she had two kids. They had to go move with the mom, not because she couldn't take care of them, but she wanted them with better schools. She did a lot of things at her mom's house, but this crazy ass Pam would want her to bring her back to her fucking abuser, which I cannot for the life of me understand that. But I think Pam was probably more crazy. I don't know. Pam and Candy are both the same. They both some crazy ass psychotic ass killers. So, um, the lady name in this movie, the things about Pam, her best friend name was, I think, Betsy. And so Betsy was chilling with her family, chilling with her kids, whoop de whoop. And Pam very much insinuated she needed to go home. But Betsy didn't want to go home. She wanted to stay with her family and chill with her kids. So even though she told Betsy, don't come get me, Betsy Pam still brought her ass and went got this woman. So they like, whatever. I would say, I would be like, something wrong with her. She don't have no understanding. No, they just went along. Everybody went along with whatever Pam said and did. So this is another series on Hulu. So Pam brought her home. She called her husband to let her know that she and Betsy made it back to Betsy's house, which was, I think, a timestamp. It was to show a timestamp of a lot of stuff. And so she went into the house with Betsy and she stabbed her 51 times and left the knife in her neck. So then the estranged husband come home. Mind you, he wasn't really expecting the wifey, but the wifey told him she was on her way. Pam insisted for her to come. Now he was chilling with his boys, smoking weed and drinking, but he wasn't hurting nobody. So he comes home and all he sees is his wife covered in blood and a knife in her neck. He never turned her over or nothing. He calls 911, right? So he starts crying and he says that his wife killed herself. So this was around the same time too, early 80s, so a little bit later than the other show. So they come there. Well, they are ready because they say 9 to 10 is the husband. They already convicted him. They just need to get enough information. Hey, Wendy, enough information to bring it to trial. So he thought he was helping himself. So he started talking to these people, and the whole time they thinking he killed his wife, right? So come to find out, Pam had made Betsy put three life insurance policies in her name. So all all her money went to her, went to Pam. Now Pam made it to like she was going to. Well, she did put it in a trust fund for the girls. She had because Betsy had two girls. Only because she was being investigated for this crime. Now once she then wooed them with her crazy ass, wooed the jury, wooed the judge, like they shopping together and going to Neiman's Marcus and all kinds of shit together. All right. Now, once she established that, because the woman was crazy.com, then the truth started coming out slowly. But at that point, it was too late. So the money she put in the trust fund for the girls, she took it out because they didn't want to hear anything this bitch had to say. They didn't like Pam either. They like, just give us our money, man. Well, she used that to her defense to get the husband to go to prison. The husband served 3 years in prison. Betsy husband served 3 years in prison. He posted that got life, but he got out. So what was the turning point is she made the trust fund. She put the money in the trust fund. She told the girls Betsy's daughters and stuff. Then after, you know, they sent the husband to prison, she took the trust fund and put the money back in her account. So of course the daughters are mad, whoop de woo, they suing her for their money, right? So they sued her, but they lost because it's like, if your mom want the money to go to y'all, she could have just put y'all in it on the policies. Well, they always bamboozled by Pam. So Pam ended up walking away, skipping with the girl's money and her friend's money. And so, but that wasn't enough for Pam. Pam wanted to solicit people to reenact a murder or whatever. Like, and so end up she messed with the wrong one. It was somebody that had special needs, or I don't know, had a disability. And the things that she said they were supposed to do, there wasn't no way that that person could do it. The things, the person could even barely talk. So that's what so that it because of her greediness, she got everything she wanted. She got away with murder, stabbing her friends 51 times. She got away with all this money, all these policies. She killed other people in the process. She got away with that. But when she did this murder, she didn't get away with that. And she ended up going to prison for that. So I don't know what her money is. So I don't know who was crazier, Candy or Pam, but they both were some crazy ass bitches. I'm telling y'all. They both was crazy. It is a good, both of them are good series to watch. They're short and they will keep you on the edge of your seat. One of them is named Candy on Hulu, and the other one is named The Things About Pam or Things About Pam or some shit like that. You'll see it. And if you watch Candy first, it'll guide you to that one. The I was watching somebody's chat. I think I was in maybe Tree's chat, and they brought a lot of good movies up. So I just started watching movies, and I said I was gonna do a reaction on it, and I was gonna bring my ghetto ass twist, my ghetto ass reaction to it. But they were very. I was surprised how interesting these movies was coming from Hulu. But yes, it's very interesting. Both of them are. I wouldn't watch them both at the same time. Do one and then do the other. But it's called one of them is called Candy, Candy. And the other movie is something like it's called Things About Pam or Them Things About Pam. And that was a good movie. But I want to know, y'all go check them out. What do y'all think? Who was more crazy? They seemed to me it seemed like they were equally crazy. But yeah, I really, I'm not really a drama person, but I was very surprised I even watched the whole thing throughout. So um I'm looking for some other ones now. Got a bunch of names off that channel, right? About series. So I'm going through. I'm gonna tell y'all which ones are the good ones and which wasn't. Now there is one that I'm kind of entertaining right now, and that's the one Mary Blood or Blooded Mary or something like that. It sounds kind of good. I'll check it out and I'll let y'all know. I'm only talking about Candy and the Things About Pam. Both of those were awesome series. They had 5 or 6 episodes in each one. If you ain't got nothing to do, you can just binge watch that in a half a day. But it's well worth the watch. Y'all go check it out. And come back and let me know what y'all think. All right, we out.